there! Today we're going to use all the vegetables. My husband and I were out to dinner the other night celebrating our wedding anniversary, and we were served the most wonderful appetizer at the restaurant. It was a Fritto Misto of local Nova Scotia vegetables from the garden. So they had carrots and broccoli and green and yellow beans and red and orange bell pepper and zucchini and onion rings. It was lovely. It was all dipped in a very light batter that was fried until it was very, very crisp. And then it was served on the most luscious cream sauce. And I thought, wow, that's to die for. I want to make that again. So I have lots of veggies in the crisper from going to the farmer's market. And I thought tonight's the night. We'll have a little nibbly appetizer for supper. And I don't really have a recipe. I'm just going to wing it. But I did some research on what makes a nice tempura batter. And so we'll make that up. But first we have to get the sauce going because the vegetables were lovely, but the sauce was the crowning glory on these veggies. So if you come over to the stove, we'll get that started. So first I'm going to get my pan going, and I'm going to put in a healthy knob of butter. That's about a heaping tablespoon of butter. Just get that going. And I have some chopped shallot and minced garlic. That's one small shallot, I guess, and 2 cloves of garlic. I would say the shallot is about 2 tablespoons minced, and I'm just going to saute that lightly in the butter. And take care not to get any color on the garlic. If you notice that it's a little too hot, just turn your flame down. You just want to extract the flavor from the garlic and the shallot. Maybe a minute or 2 tops. Don't burn the butter and don't brown the garlic. Just keep it moving. And when it smells fragrant and it looks like it's ready to just go over to that golden moment, which you don't want it to reach, add about a 1/4 cup of white wine. I'm not going to measure it, I just have a little bit left in the bottom of a bottle. Pour that in, crank your heat back up a little bit and bring that to a boil and let it reduce. Give a little pinch of salt and a generous grinding of black pepper. Just let that cook down a little bit. I'm going to reduce the wine by about half. While that's cooking away, I'm just going to juice half a lemon. Have that waiting in the wings. And once most of that wine has evaporated, let's add 3/4 of a cup of cream. Now at the restaurant, there were herbs in the sauce and also a little bit of saffron. I don't have really expensive saffron. I have some saffron that we got on a vacation in Turkey, and I bought it in a parking lot. So this is not the saffron that you pay, $25 or $30 for a little tiny vial of saffron. This is Turkish saffron. It's fine. It's just not the really expensive stuff, but it will add a nice color. So I've got a generous pinch, maybe 2 generous pinches. It's not going to add a whole lot of flavor. It's just going to add a nice golden color. Let's turn the heat down to a simmer. See, the sauce doesn't take long at all. Their sauce had some herbs, so I went out to my little herb pot on my step, and I have some tarragon. So this is my tarragon, and I'm just going to take a few leaves and chop them up and add them to the sauce. Just going to strip the leaves off the stem. I think any sort of delicate herb you like would be good. I wouldn't use something strong like thyme, but if you had chervil, flat leaf parsley adds a lot of nice flavor. I wouldn't use cilantro or anything like that, but this is kind of nice. Just about a tablespoonful of tarragon leaves, and I'm just going to give them a little fine chop. Oh, chives would also be good. I think they had some chives in theirs, but our chives have kind of gone over and aren't nice and fresh. They're kind of dry and crispy. Slide that into my pan. And that sauce is just about done. Just going to let it cook down and get thick. Yeah, it's very nice. And that half a lemon we squeezed. Let's see, I'm just going to add a little bit of lemon juice to brighten things up. That was maybe a tablespoon. Stir that in. Just cook it down until it's nicely reduced and fairly thick. And taste as you go. I'm just going to grab a little tasting spoon. Very good. I think it could use a little bit of salt. And oddly enough, theirs seemed a little sweet, so I think I'm going to add a couple pinches of sugar. That seems odd, but I think it's going to bring out the flavor. Stir that in. Give it another little taste. So good. That sauce is done. So I'm going to take it off the heat and I'm going to slide it to one side. And now we're going to move on to the batter for our vegetables and do some frying. Okay, so now we're going to make our tempura batter for our Fritto Misto. And it's a very easy batter. It's 3/4 of a cup of flour, 3/4 of a cup of cornstarch, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. 1, 2, a teaspoon of salt, and you whisk that around. And then you add just enough very, very cold water to make a very runny batter. So I have my water in the fridge. I have a few ice cubes in here and some water, and then I just let it hang out in the fridge so it could get nice and cold. And there's really no measurement for this. You're just going to add as much as it takes to create a nice thin batter. Just keep whisking until smooth. And if you think it needs more water, add a little bit more. You don't want any lumps. That looks pretty good. I don't see many lumps at all. So you can really use whatever vegetables you like for this, but I'm replicating what they served us at the restaurant. So I have some nice small zucchini that I've cut on a bit of a diagonal, fairly thin. And I have some red peppers and some orange peppers and some carrots and some yellow and green beans and some broccoli. And then over here on the stove, I have a pot of just neutral vegetable oil. I'm using canola oil, heating up on the stove. And you'll know when it's ready to fry when a little bit of batter and it floats to the top. So that's ready to go. And I have a pan that's waiting. I've lined it with paper towels. And so I'll be frying and removing the vegetables to the paper towel to drain. This is all going to happen fairly quickly because you don't really have to worry about cooking the vegetables through. They're going to get a nice crisp coating from the batter, and then we're going to serve them with our sauce. So I'm going to start with the carrots first because I think they're going to take the longest. I'll just put those in here, and your hands are going to get a little dirty. Not dirty, just a little gloopy from the batter. So just drain off as much as you can, and then into the pot. And always put the veggies in when you're frying anything like this, just away from you, in case that oil splashes up. You don't want to get burned. You can certainly use tongs to do this. I've done this before, but if you're a first timer working with hot oil, you might want to use tongs. And I think my carrots could have been cut a little thinner, but they'll be fine. You can have your oven on if you want it to keep things warm. And I recommend using a spider like this for frying, because then you can flip things over. It's also good for retrieving things when they're done, and draining, of course. And that's it for the carrots. Just take them out. Let them drain on the paper. Next, in goes the broccoli. And stand back so you don't get any splatter on you. You don't have to do as many veggies as these, just as many as you think you're going to eat. It helps to have a dishpan full of soapy water at the ready so you can rinse off your hand. And the name of the game with tempura and Fritto Misto is to take everything out before it reaches that golden moment. So you want the batter to get crisp, but you want it to stay light. So I think that's enough for the broccoli. That one got a little too dark, but that's okay. Now for the green beans and the yellow beans. Let's just stir those around in the batter. Get them all lightly coated. Take care not to overcrowd your pan. I probably have enough in there now. I'm not really timing this. I'm just going by the way the batter sounds and feels. So it feels very crispy. Like I said, the name of the game is not to necessarily have vegetables that are cooked all the way through. It's all about that crispy batter. So you'll be able to feel with your spider that the tempura is crispy, and that's your sign to get in there and get it out of the pot. Just move it to your paper towel lined pan, into the batter with the peppers, Just shake off any excess. Those look pretty good. These are the red peppers. Very nice and crispy. Orange peppers. You can see a few vegetables makes a huge platter. This would probably be enough to feed 6 people at a party as an appetizer or a little snack with drinks. They're starting to feel nice and crispy. So really it only takes a minute or two. Just gonna make room here for these. And our final vegetable are the zucchini. Just get them well coated with the batter. Drop them into the pan away from you. Shake off the excess. The zucchini has the most water content, so the fact that you're hearing all that snapping and crackling, that's the water coming out of the zucchini. They won't take long at all. I would say they're done now. Get them out. I probably could have used a bigger pan to drain these on, but this will be fine. Okay, turn the heat off, put my fat to one side, bring back the sauce that's been hanging out in the back. I'm just gonna bring that back up to temperature. Oh yeah, look how nice and thick it is. And if you think it's too thick, you can add just a splash more cream or milk or even just a little bit of lemon juice, but I think it will start to liquefy a little bit as the heat hits it. Okay, there's steam coming off that, so I'll cut the heat and let's bring our veggies over here. And you know, I was going to put that on a beautiful platter, but I don't think it needs a platter. That looks pretty nice just all on its own. I'll just pour this sauce into a nice little dish. And if you were going to make individual plates of this, which is how we had it at the restaurant, the sauce was spread out over a plate and the veggies were arranged on top. But I think in this instance, I'm going to just take a nice crisp bean. Listen to how beautiful and crisp that is. Can you hear that? Come right in close. Beautiful, crispy. Dip that into the sauce. Wow. So good. That was a bean, fried in tempura, dipped in a sauce that was very simple and quick to make. And now we're ready to sit down with a nice glass of wine and have a nice summer appetizer style dinner. It's all vegetarian, except for the cream, I guess, in the sauce. But if you're okay with cream, you could use a vegetarian cream to make the sauce. But gorgeous, gorgeous. I can't recommend this enough. Broccoli, zucchini, bell peppers, green beans, yellow beans. There's carrots hiding under there somewhere. This was one of the best appetizers I've had in a long, long time. It's a way to fully utilize the bounty of the summer in the most delicious way. I hope you'll give it a try. Thanks so much for watching. I hope I'll see you here next week. Bye for now.